Hey everybody, welcome to Pre-Market Prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin with you for the next 20 or so minutes. I want to we'll start by bringing up a watch list here that I made of all the stocks. Well, maybe not all the stocks, but most of the stocks that we talked about on Pre-Market Prep this morning. It is not often you see a clean slate like this. Uh, every single one, although you can't see Nicola there, but every single one is red today, and that is emblematic of this market. The FANG stocks were hot, and everything else, and I mean everything else, with a couple of exceptions, were not hot.
Yeah, I think we did okay today with some of the things that we talked about. Before we dig into that, not much of a day. I mean, kind of a down day in the market, but we're way off the pre-market lows. The way things stand now here with 19 minutes to go in the session, you're not going to see either the Globex high or the Globex low. And you guys know I love to play the outskirts of those ranges. Pre-market low 31.90. They pressed it there this morning, but they turned it back at 31.90.75. Rallied, really chopped around a lot between 30.05 and 32.15. Now just creeping up here near the end of the session, down 9.25. Big number moving forward tonight, or who knows what's going to happen here in the last 18 minutes. 32.31. 32.31 was your high from Monday. That's the high of the rebound. And you hit 31.25 yesterday, 31 today. So for the 24-hour market, there's a double top for the market to clear tomorrow and get into greener territory. Big turnaround in the crude oil market, was down on the session, over $1.50, rallies back now up 57 cents, 38.79. Gold back over 12 or 1700, up 1370 at 1712. Silver going opposite directions. Man, the spreaders must be getting just crushed in that. That's down 10.8 cents at 17.785. Let's call Bitcoin flat here at 97.75.
All right, Joel. Let's look at FANG here because the FANG stocks are leading us higher today, and that's all you can really say is that it's one of those days where
Couple quiet days,
yeah,
in the FANG, but when you're in a strong uptrend and then you have a quiet days and you have consolidation, that just means the
that's your chance.
resumption of the uptrend,
That's your
right?
chance. Yeah.
And was able to catch a short in the S&Ps this morning. I stepped away for a couple hours. I came back. It was in my favor. And I'm like, well, it's not at my target and I don't want to, cover before my stop. But I looked at, man, Apple was up, Microsoft was up, Amazon was up, Google was up, and Facebook was up. And I'm like, I'm going to get stopped out of this trade. Just the big boys, right there. That's almost probably 17, 18% of the entire index. So if those stocks are in the green, I don't care what kind of technical short setup you have for the Spider or the S&P 500. I mean, you got a lot of stocks working against you. The other 494 really have to go, but strong day. Market maybe a little weak going into the close here, but it was mainly, let's cover these trash stocks that getting trashed today.
Well, you want to look at Macy's, which we talked about this morning?
Macy's, yeah, boy, the old rug pull in that one. That thing got near $11. And the only thing I want to talk to
Yeah,
about, like,
you said 11 would be key. You said
I
that.
didn't even think it would get near 11. It didn't even get near 10.50. And Dennis was like, oh, so much volume traded. They're going to be able to get it up. But man, the way that was just a gift. This thing had been over $10 since March 11th. And you had a high at 11.33 on March 10th. You had a 10.30. Look at the closes here. I know I talk about highs and lows. Look at your close at on March 9th, 10.43. Your close on March 10th, 10.35. I mean, how many people have been waiting over 2 months to get their money back in double digits in that stock? that eventually just may go down the tube. So yeah, the 1036 open. There was probably some big paper there at 1050, and then they just turned it around, more than filled the gap. Now Macy's down 60 cents at 8.95.
We've been talking about how these trends, when they reverse hard and fast. You see the same thing today with Chesapeake. I mean, different story.
Oh,
It's a
geez.
bankrupt stock, bankrupt company, but down. What is down?
$45.
Yeah, down
You
64.
know what? I'm taking that stock off my screen right now because it doesn't deserve there. It's
Okay,
gone.
okay,
It's
you're
off
right.
my screen.
You're right. Moving on from that, let's even look at the airlines here. We talked about American
Yep.
this morning. We talked about United this morning. We talked about the Jets ETF this morning. They are all lower today. American Airlines down about 9%. United down about 7.5%, 8%. It's one of those days where at least we have a clean trend today. I mean, the clear trend today is that Fang is hot and nothing else is. So
Yep.
not at
I'm
all.
just gonna give Triple D some more kudos on that call on Friday. That's about as convicted as he can
He
be.
was so convicted.
Yeah. And convictions sell. And hold on, guys. If I sneeze here, I'm gonna try and mute it. But man, people are
But
buried in that thing. I mean, absolutely. That 2280 high. Um, they took out the support at 1780. It was kind of an undercutting rally. You got to 1761. You're back up at 1843. So you probably had some intermediate short-term traders using that support area. So the bar gets down a little bit lower. 1761. The low on Friday, 1780. You've already got a gap fill there. You're settling a buck off the low, but look how the highs have come down. High on Friday, 2280. High on Monday, 2036. Today, high 1897. We're losing some altitude here, folks. We are down at 3209.50. It looks like a
in the
little bit of
FB.
a fade into the close.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, step down sellers. And what I mean by sellers is they want out, they want to sell, and they're they brought it down. The highs, $2.50 on Monday. They brought it down another $1.40 today. So what you want to see if you're a bull, you want to see a little bit a high closer to that 1897, maybe make a 19 high tomorrow and then bust above there and try and get back some of that ground. But that's just American Airlines seems to be like the easiest one for me to follow technically. So I focus on that a little bit too much. We talked about the Jets, Jets, Jets. That hit a wall at 22.
Inflows. I don't know what today's doing, but
Yeah, outflow.
doubtful.
And this one, the old yesterday's low was today high trick. And that's when we talk about a gap, open 2065, tried to get through the previous day's low, or tried to break above it, couldn't do it, missed it by a penny, traded down to 1977. If I was trading this thing, I probably would be looking for that 1965 low. That was your low on Friday, and I would have got snuffed. This seems like just looking at this Jets here, it just seems like it's a little, it's spread out. Probably has all these different it's just not as representative as it's more spread out, so it doesn't get hit as much is what I was thinking.
Yes,
They did go into some regional carriers, correct?
they did diversify
Yeah.
even more so. Yep, that's true. And real quick, going back to Macy's, Dion H left because Joel asked for a trash stock, and my first instinct was Macy's. Well, I will remind you that I am a former Macy's employee. I am more qualified than all y'all to talk about Macy's and them being trashed. So I can talk about Macy's being trash as a former.
Dion's still here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, as a former Macy's employee, I have unique insights into Macy's level of trashness.
But I thought you said Dion left because
no, he laughed. He laughed.
Oh, he laughed. He
Yeah.
laughed.
Okay, let's look at Chewy here. I had some people's intentions in the chat. They are due to report earnings after the close today. We're looking for EPS of 16 cents on a revenue of 1.
More importantly, what department did you work in at Macy's?
Receiving, and they kept me in the back. Kept me in the bag off the floor.
Okay. All right. Another move down here in the S&Ps. They're hitting this market pretty good here going into the close. Taking a look at, we were talking about what stock? I'm sorry.
Chewy.
Chewy. I Before I looked at this chart, I would have think there would be some profit taking going into the report. No, can do. Busting out to a new all-time high here, 52.26. Poised to close at a new all-time closing high by a wide margin. So the street's bullish going into this report here. I don't know. If I had this thing long, I might be booking some profits or maybe see if I can get some nice juice and some 55 or 60 calls. But probably what people are looking for is the acceleration of sales during the height of the COVID. So good quarter. They're predicting a good quarter, not only a good quarter, but a great quarter out of Chewy. And we
Yeah.
did get, Lisa did order something there from Perry. So I know we have contributed to last quarter's earnings.
See, the thing that separates a company like Chewy from any other company that would have seen increased demand, right? Like a company like Clorox or whatever, is like demand didn't go up for dog food last quarter, right? Maybe how people bought it
Correct.
differed,
Very
but
good.
demand is not going up. Demand for the underlying product is still the same. It's not like Clorox wipes, or it's not like office furniture, like what's that company?
Wayfair.
Wayfair. Thank you. Yeah, the office
Yeah,
furniture.
I don't see people buying office furniture, to suit up their home office. That
I
that
mean,
doesn't make
that's what Wayfair said. That's what they said was happening. So it's not like that. Demand for pet food is not any higher than it was 4 months ago. So I don't know.
good point.
I would be inclined to fade this, but that's just my take.
I mean, like that is, you don't make a lot of money shorting stocks a new all-time high. So
True.
that's what it's looking. We'll see what happens into the report. I really can't give you a number on the upside because there isn't any. And then on the downside, which the street has absolutely no fear in this stock, my level of interest here, if they start to hit it, would be $48. The reason for that being, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 lows, 5 lows, including today, from 47.55 to 48.13. So actually 3 out of the last 4 have been at 48.13. So we'll see what happens at 48. If they start to hit it, that's $3.50 away from here, though.
All right, 353. Let's. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat here. There are some funny comments.
Which one?
Just no, just right. People
It
wondering.
seems like this afternoon crowd is much nicer and much tamer
I
than
was
the
gonna say much,
morning crowd.
but maybe a little looser, maybe a little.
Yeah, I don't know that morning crowd. I don't know. We attract a lot of weirdos. But anyways, let's
Oh, they're all nice people, Joel. All right, let's talk about Cloudera here. Not much in the way of intraday, big internet boomers today. We talked about Fang being sort of the leaders here. Cloudera is pretty much one of the only stocks that I saw that was up big
big up.
today, and
Yeah.
that was
Yep.
on a report from Bloomberg Law that they're seeking some private equity buyers to take them over. So that was your catalyst, and that was a couple hours ago. That was midday, so you do see that midday spike as a result of that.
Yeah, I mean, when you say you're going to put yourself up to private equity, I mean, well, what are you going to do? You're going to short the stock? I mean, you've got to be out of your mind. Sold off earnings, right? And then you could call it a triple bottom. I mean, 981, 981, 968. Big accumulation of the stock there, right? That 975 area blasted off to 1240. Hard to put actual numbers on something when something's in play, because if I tell you 1250 is resistance, which it is, that was the resistance the day before earnings. And they were just anticipating a good report. No can do. It made a high at 1250 that day, closed at 1240, and then got slammed down to 1080 the next day, the 986. So I don't know how to value the company, whatever price they put on it. But for me, technically, 1250, big number. That was the high end the day before earnings, and you got the 1240 today.
All right. What else was on my list here? Cloudera. We talked Fang. You know what? Actually, let's pull up Microsoft in particular.
Mr. Softy. Yep.
Someone asked about it.
Alan always asked about it. He must be long the house and like in that. Oh,
Uh,
no, not a new all-time high. Nope, not quite yet, Alan. 190.70. And what do you got there? I mean, I keep giving these resistance levels, but it just keeps going through it. What's the all-time high? Oh, perfect double top. Look at that, Alan. 197, 190.70 on the February 11th, right? That's your all-time high. And then where'd you get to today? Today, right on the kisser. 190.70. If you had an order out there at 190.69, you would have gotten done. If you would have had a buy stop at 190.70, you would have gotten done too. But there you go. Someone's targeting that. Can't give you any better number than that. Where did it close at on the 11th? I think it ended up giving it back. I think that was an earnings day, and it closed way off that. But 190.70, it hit right off the open, closed 184.44. As opposed to this day where you're going to make a new all-time closing high in Microsoft. So that will be your bogey for tomorrow. And then no such thing as a triple top, right? If it goes through 190.70 tomorrow, all bets are off on the short side.
All right. A few stocks that do not necessarily excite me reporting earnings after the close here. We're going to get AMC Entertainment. So much for that Amazon takeover, right?
Yeah, what's up with that?
We're going to get GameStop, Five Below. Chewy is the one that interests me the most, but those other names don't really interest me
It's
lot.
interesting. This AMC got the pop off that, and then it sold off, filled the gap. Was that a perfect gap fill there? 418 was the high on that day. Then what did you get down to? 408. You filled that gap by a dime and back up at this area. So I don't know how they're going to do well with no one going out and going to movies and everything. But 684 was your high yesterday. The previous spike high was 641. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the report's going to actually reveal? But let's just call that 684 the big number. That was your 2-day high.
Yeah, I'm not sure when the fiscal month and
good point.
When the quarter ended for them, but I mean, let's just say it was March, then this is going to be a doozy of a quarter for them because they might.
Yeah, I mean, but that's logic. But what do we know about this market? It's anything but logical.
I guess that's true. Okay. Did you also see what happened to Lovsac today? LOVE. Popped up. They had earnings. Popped up in the pre-market. Kept on going. And then whoosh.
What do they do? Is it a purse company or something?
Not quite. They make those gigantic cushions, seats. I'm not sure.
They make gigantic cushions.
Like comfortable couch things. I'm not quite sure what you call
it. I mean, they probably had a good quarter, right? Because everyone needed furniture to
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Beanbag chairs.
That's a better way of describing it.
Yeah. Open flat rally, gave it all back. $20, I guess, as long as it holds yesterday's or today's low at 20.05. That was right near Thursday's close. Should be an interesting day tomorrow in this, but you just got to think that everyone was like, oh, this is going to 30 when they bought it at on the way up at 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And then they watch it go 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. This is going to be a tough one. There's got to be some overhead supply in this thing. I just don't see this ripping right back up to 29.74. Be hard for me to pick an intermediate number in there. Maybe you could look at some previous highs and closes. S&P's little 18-point sell-off. Oh, Spencer, we're almost done here. We only got a minute left. Is any other stocks you want to cover?
Not really, but it occurred to me that we've had a lot of new listeners in the past few months who haven't seen our office because we've both been home, Jill. So I'll get out of the way. This is our office. It looks like a crap right now, honestly, because no one is here, and it's kind of a mess because, again, no one's been here for 3 months. But this is it. This is This is the Benzinga HQ.
World
Normally,
headquarters. Yeah.
normally on a
Yeah.
given day, people are walking around behind me and stuff. Our news desk is
Yeah.
over here to my left, but this is what it looks like. Joel is usually actually right next to me.
Yeah. You
Not-
can't, man, Jason's gonna be mad at me. I don't know where my badge is at. I gotta find my badge. I don't want to have to pay extra money to get a new
I'm
badge.
sure it'll be fine. All right. Thanks to everyone who joined us. You can catch the replay of this on YouTube at any time. Please remember that all the information from this broadcast is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe. If you subscribe to our channel, you'll get notified when we go live. It's a really convenient way to just see our videos right when they go live there. But hit the like button, subscribe for a free trial of Benzinga Pro. It's where I keep my watch list. It's where we reference throughout the show here. You can go to the link in the description of this video. You'll get a free 2-week trial and a discount should you choose to continue after.
Are you going back down tomorrow, or what are you doing?
I think so, Joel. I think I'm going to.
You think you're out of it, huh?
I can't do it. I can't work from home anymore. I can't do it.
I know. Everyone misses your signs, though. What are you gonna do with your signs?
Oh man, yeah, the wall of COVID signs. I'm not quite sure. Well,
The wall of COVID signs.
not quite
Hopefully,
sure.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still hunkering down here. At least it won't let me out of the house yet. So,
Hey.
well, hopefully things will get back to normal. All right. Good show, Spencer.
All right, thanks everyone for joining us. We will talk to you.
Who's our guest tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Ivan Feinseth from Tigris Financial Partners. He's their chief equity analyst, or one of their chief executives.
He's good. He's good. I look forward to talking.
All right, we'll talk to Ivan tomorrow. Everyone have a good rest of your Tuesday and be safe. Okay.